So this is a Sprite Quattro EW. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, on this side, we've got the battery locker with mains power lead coming into the side of the van. Battery will tie down with the strap that you see in there, and the mains lead is coming from the power on side. Front of the caravan, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel, handbrake and stabiliser built into the hitch head. We have a separate video for this that we'll send over to you also. In the front of the caravan, you've got your regulator and two gas bottle tie downs. The two gas bottle tie downs will hold two 6 kilogram bottles, one in each, and the gas pipe work will go up to the regulator at the top, and the yellow valve that you see on the side is a gas shut-off valve. On the side of the van, you've got a Truma heating vent or air flue for the heating and hot water systems. That's essentially your gas flue, the same that you have on the side of your house. And at the bottom you have your wind down leg on each corner. Got a water pump pickup coming outside of the van that drops down into your acro roll. Very simple to put into place. You pull back the blue trigger on the handle, and then that will push into the side of the van and lock into place. On the side of the van, we've got the wheel nuts. The wheel nuts will be torqued before the caravan is let off site. However, we do recommend before you travel each time that you check the wheel nuts and make sure they are torqued to 120 newton meters of torque. The water that comes in the front of the caravan has to come out of somewhere, and as you can see here, the two grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van. So you have two grey waste pipes that drop down into the waste tank itself, and that's called a waste master. At the back of the van, we have the toilet flush tank. This tank takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid, which comes as part of our starter packs if you decide to go for one of those. In the locker at the bottom, you'll actually find your toilet cassette. The toilet cassette is very simple. Pulls the handle up and pulls towards you with an orange pressure relief valve on the back to allow the pressure to come out, or when you're tipping the waste away, to allow the pressure to come out without spitting and splattering all over you. Before you use the cassette, you'll need to put in 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid. And when I say a cap full, that is the grey cap there that you measure the fluid on. At the rear of the van, we've got the wind down legs on either side, so that to stabilise the van. You'd never lift the caravan with those legs. Those legs are just there for stabilising it while you're on site, the same as the two at the front. If you need to jack the caravan up, then you'd use either a bottle jack or a proper trolley jack, but you never ever use the legs to lift the caravan off the floor. On this side of the van, on the bed section at the rear, we've got a locker to be able to get into the storage underneath. Very simply, pop the key into place and push the two buttons in, and that locker will open up. On this side of the van as well, we have the fridge vents. So the two fridge vents there will allow hot air out from the back of the fridge unit, and also the gas unit that is behind one of these as well for the gas operation of the fridge. Going inside the caravan now, and we'll demonstrate how the heating, hot water systems work, and the fridge, etc. As you can hear, we've got the radio on, so you can hear everything is working as it should. I'm just going to turn that off for now, when I can find it. There it is. Just going to turn that down. So first of all, when you come inside the caravan, above the door, you have got your mains control panel for the caravan. You've got power on the button on the bottom right hand side here. And then you've got your lighting for the exterior, two front dimming lights, and the internal lights. You've also then got your water pump run at the bottom if you need to, when you want ready to run the water pump. On the left hand side, you've got your heating and hot water control panel, which I'll come back to in a second. But to fill the water system on board the caravan, first of all, you're going to come over to each of the taps. As you'll be able to see in a second, I've already got the hot water system bled. But you're going to open the taps up on the hot side of the water heating, or the water. You're going to open all those taps up before you turn the pump on. Same in the shower and the washroom basin as well. Then underneath the seat at the front of the caravan, you will actually see there is a yellow drain down valve. Now that yellow valve, you can only just see it in the video, but it's just at the end of my finger here. That yellow valve, to be able to fill the water system, needs to be parallel with the floor. If that valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to start filling the water system. If the valve is pointing upwards towards the bottom of the seat, or you would need to, or to drain the water system down, you would need to put that valve into the upright position. However, when you are filling it, it does need to be flat to the floor. Once you've got all the taps open on the hot side, and you've got that yellow valve parallel with the floor, you come over to the control panel by the door, and you can turn the water pump on. That will then in turn start filling the water system, and when the water system is completely bled, the water will be running out the taps as you see it now. Once the water's coming out of each tap completely, you'll turn off the water pump, and then you can start heating the water on board the caravan. So this control panel here, press the middle button, and it will take you into the options. The end button here, or the end one here, is for the heating of the caravan internally. So you'll spin the dial round to the right temperature, or the temperature you want to set it at, so you've got it at 20 degrees. Press the button and that will set the internal temperature of the caravan at 20 degrees of room temperature. We'll spin the dial round to the right when the icons are flashing at the top, and we'll go to the water heating. So you've got water off, eco, hot or boost. So if you want to boost the water system, for if you're showering for instance, you'd set that to boost by pressing the central button. The same with hot, eco or off. The next symbol you see coming along here is the power that's coming into the caravan, or the gas supply you want to use. So you've got gas on its own, mix 1, which is gas and 1000 watts of power together, mix 2, which is 2000 watts of power and gas together, electric 1, which is 1000 watts of power on its own, which we're going to be running on here on site, and electric 2, which is 2000 watts of power on its own. So we're going to set that to electric 1 for now. Now the electric 1 and 2 will relate to the amount of power you've got coming into the caravan from the caravan site you are on. So for instance, if you arrived on site and you wasn't sure what you should be running your water system on, if you ask in the site office, they'd be able to advise you on how much power supply they've got coming into the caravan. On the end here, we've got the option to run the blown air. So you've got eco, high, eco or high on this particular van, so we can set it to high, and that will turn on the fans on board the caravan to start warming the caravan through the vents that come out around the van. So these black vents here that you see in different places around the caravan. Down the bottom of the screen here, we've got temperature set for the so you can actually set the heating and hot water to come on at certain times. And in the manual for the caravan, which is on the seat on the far side, just there in that red bag with our company logo on it, we'll explain to you how to set that. Also at the bottom here, you've got the time for the clock and any extra settings the engineers may need to use. There is also a reset in there for resetting the control panel if it gets stuck, but again, if you read the manual, that will give you the full advice on how to reset it. Next thing we're going to come to is the fridge unit itself. Now as you can see, the fridge is already turned on. It is flashing at the moment to let me know that it's not ignited on gas. The reason for that is we haven't got any gas connected at the moment, but what you can do is to change the, let me just turn it off. So the fridge is turned off at the moment. To turn it on, press and hold the power button, he says. There we go. So it took a couple of seconds longer than I thought it would to come on. But you can change the power source you're using. So for instance, 12 volt as you're towing down the road, or 240 volt as it's gone to now. It's now on to the 240 option. You can go auto 240 volt, or you can go to your gas option. Now if you're, 12 volt mode from the car. So when you're towing down the road, essentially you connect it to the car, it will allow the 12 volt system on board the car to make the caravan work as a cool box. It will not work as a fridge while you're towing down the road. So at that point, when you arrive on site, essentially just to have the fridge cool so it doesn't take so long to freeze the ice box or chill the fridge completely. When you're on mains or 240 volt, mains or gas, sorry, you can control the temperature by hitting the thermostat or the thermometer button on the right hand side. Microwave above works like a household microwave would. Quick start there, just so you can see it's working. So that is working as it should do. To cancel, press the button at the bottom to stop it from operating. Grill, the hob, sorry. You never ever put down the glass lid if the gas rings are still hot on top of the oven. You'd always leave the lid up, and you'd also need the lid up to be able to operate the grill and oven below. The controls are all across the front of the oven, works very much the same as your household items, and you've got an igniter just there as well. To drain the water system down on board the caravan, I'm just going to run you through next. I'm also just going to turn the fridge off. So to drain down the water system, you turn off the water pump first. As you can see, the water pump is now off with the blue light gone off. You'd undo the drain down valve underneath the seat. And then you'd open each tap up around the caravan to the central position between the hot water and the cold. So you'd find the central position, so roughly around there. Open up the tap and it'll allow any water that's in the pipework to drain back out. The reason for doing that is potentially if you left water in the system, it could potentially freeze and crack the water system open on the caravan, so whether that be the tap itself or the water pipes around the van. So that's all the taps open, so it's draining down. The last thing inside of the caravan we're going to come to is the toilet system itself. You've got an electric toilet flush on top, which runs off that tank from the outside that we spoke about. And then down below, you've got your toilet waste flap that allows the waste to go into the toilet cassette underneath the or in the side of the caravan. When you are emptying the waste cassette from the caravan, you do need to make sure that the toilet seat itself is pointing straight across the caravan towards the shower unit itself. At that point, you'd be able to release the toilet cassette and empty it. If the toilet was turned, it's got a lock on there, so it can't allow the waste cassette to come out while the toilet is in any other position. If you have any further questions on this particular caravan, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy the caravan.